Dave Rubin from the Rubin Report is trying to corner Candace. He just brought up what Candace said in the past when Candace was saying that if Erika Kirk asked Candace to stop, she's the only one of the only people that can get her to stop talking about the death of Charlie Kirk.
She said this. She said that the only one who would shut her up about this was Erika Kirk.
No one, and I mean absolutely no one, outside of my husband and Erika Kirk, has the power to shut me up right now.
And then Erika Kirk just went on Fox News and different media sources requesting silence about the situation. So the question remains, does Candace Owens need to keep her word? Is she violating what she said before and going back on that? We're going to discuss that today.
Of course, everything with her ends up being about Israel and everything else. It was all this crazy stuff, and she was getting some pushback. So she said this. She said that the only one who would shut her up about this was Erika Kirk. Okay, so her husband and Erika Kirk. I've met her husband, George.
So that's very important, how she said what she said. I'm not sure if she elaborated on this in the past, but she didn't say if Erika requests her to stop talking, that she would have to obey that. She just said nobody can get me to shut up except Erika Kirk. And who else was that?
Has the power to shut me up right now. Out of my husband and Erika Kirk.
Okay, her husband and Erika Kirk. That's all she said. Nobody has the power to shut her up except her husband and Erika Kirk. But she didn't actually give the specifics on what would get her to shut up. She just discussed the people that could get her to shut up. She didn't address the specifics about when she would abide by that and what are the specific circumstances that have to be met to where she would abide by that.
Okay, so her husband and Erika Kirk. I've met her husband, George, many times. We've broken bread many times. Again, I was at the wedding. I don't know where he is in all this. I don't know if he believes what she's doing or anything else. Probably will never discuss that with him in person. But yesterday then, so after 3 months of all this, where she months ago says, my husband and Erika can shut me up. Well, now we've heard Erika on this. We've heard what Erika has said. She's, in essence, she's doing it with some pretty damn hot, righteous indignation right there. But she's saying...
Wait, righteous indignation? That woman looks evil. If I'm wrong, the Lord forgive me, but I have very strong discernment. It just seems so fake. She seems so fake. She seems like she's acting. I don't trust her. You can just see evil. This is what I see. I just see evil in her face and her speech. Nothing seems real about that woman. And so does she really have righteous indignation? I don't think so, yo.
It's enough now. It went crazy. It's enough. Here was Candace's response to that.
This is my husband. Yes, he was Charlie Kirk to the world, and I know so many people love my husband, and I am grateful for that. But this is my husband, and I want to be able to have one thing left that is sacred to our family, to my in-laws, to my babies, and to my parents. One thing.
This is going to be read as Meghan Markle syndrome, okay? Meghan Markle syndrome, where you want privacy when you want it, but you want publicity whenever you want it, and that just doesn't work, okay? It doesn't work that way. But the decision to publish that, you crying over your husband's casket, and to publish his dead body on Instagram was a decision that was made by Erika, and we can watch that.
Oh, I love you. I love you.
Yeah, when I first saw this, I didn't know what to think because I didn't know anything about Erika. I was like, this is kind of weird. It rubbed me the wrong way, but I didn't automatically think Erika has some evil motive. Now, just looking at the situation throughout time and really discerning it throughout time, this is really just creepy, to say the least.
I love you. I know. I love you.
Everything seems forced with her.
That is an incredibly personal and an incredibly intimate moment that you invited the public into, okay? There was no reason to do that outside of wanting to share something that was very private with the public.
All right, you guys know I like giving the devil his due, and I think in this case I'm going to do it literally. Candace is probably right to some extent. Like, if you're going to share some of those things, then it's just the nature of the internet that people are going to criticize you for those things. But I would point Candace back to where she was 3 months ago. And where she was 3 months ago was Erika Kirk could put an end to this if she said it. Well, Erika Kirk has said it now. So whether you like Erika's...
Well, Candace didn't say specifically just that. She didn't say that if Erika Kirk just says stop it, then she has to obey that. I mean, that's what I initially thought she meant, but I didn't really pay attention to exactly what Candace Owens said. So I do believe there has to be certain stipulations. And I think those stipulations would be if she has something incorrect, if she's lying or just tripping and got something highly incorrect, then Erika Kirk could point that out and then Candace would take the time to retract that because she's not on the side of truth or she had a major error somewhere. But to just say, Candace said, all Erika has to do is just say, stop it, and Candace has to obey. Well, Candace didn't say that, did she?
Behavior now or not. Again, Candace, if you're watching the show today, I was at your wedding. I sat next to Charlie, and at the next seat over was Erika. So how about honor that? Not the public side of any of this, not the click side of any of this, not the...
So if you watch this video, which you probably didn't, but it's a pretty long video. I forget his first name, but I think it's Mark. What is his first name? I was about to call him Mark Rubin, but it's Dave Rubin. Yeah, in this podcast, he goes into pretty big detail on how Candace and him were pretty close and cooking chicken parmesan at his house for like 10 hours. It just sounds really manipulative how he puts it. Basically trying to, I just think, use it as a form of persuasion to get his point across. Like, he was once good with Candace and he knew who she was behind the scenes. Yeah, he did make that point, their quote point, that people are different. And I mean, it can be true. It is true at times, but not specifically with Candace. I think he may be using that for manipulation. But it can be true where people are really different when they're privately just hanging out with you and they act different publicly. And he was trying to use that he knows Candace and cooked chicken parmesan, and that was her favorite meal, and spent time at his house multiple times. And she was a different person in private with him than she's acting now. And basically trying to use that to discredit Candace. And I think that's, manipulation. But anyways.
Fame side of any of this or anything else, but how about honor that there were two people who were at your wedding who at one time you liked, you thought were important. Honor that. If you can't just honor what you said you would do, how about honor that? There's another piece of this. Now it's going to get even weirder because it's just, this is where we are at. Wait, am I doing another Candace one here? Yeah. All right, so before I get to the other.
What's his name? Dave Rubin. He seems like a pretty chill guy, but I can't trust anybody who believes the official narrative, and it seems like he does. So, but again, I don't know much about him now, but all I know is he accepts the official narrative, and that's an issue. Like, I just can't trust somebody like that. Like, if that's how I come to know you, like my introduction to a specific person or commentator or influencer or YouTuber, I'm just like, yeah, I can't really trust too much of what this guy says, even though they may seem nice, which he's talking a lot calmer, a lot nicer than many other people that was calling her out. But it's just like, you really can't trust people who accept things at face value, which people like him seem to do.
I think, let's just show one more of Candace from yesterday.
Is this idea that, well, now the widow has spoken. We're not dealing with the widow. We want the CEO and the chairman of Turning Point USA to answer. Okay? If you can't compartmentalize, then I don't see how you're going to be able to lead this organization in the future, because Charlie worked. We knew who Charlie was because he was authentic. Okay? He didn't just go, well, I only make time for like big pocket donors. Okay? He was sitting in college campuses. He was speaking to people, understanding people. He was changing his ideas and he was changing minds. And you are not changing my mind about the fact that something weird happened that day and that TPUSA is acting funny because you give it an impassioned plea and speak about Nehemiah on Fox News. Okay? None of it makes sense.
All right, well,
Yeah, she brought up that Bible verse in chapter Nehemiah. I thought that was very interesting. And when wicked people bring in the Bible into it, it's even worse. It rubs me the wrong way. I'm sure God is not happy about that. If she's in the wrong, and I really think she is.
It was you 3 months ago that said you'd let this go if Erika asked for it, and now you're not. And I'm sorry that the way she's going about doing it is not how you want. But again, I think having a little more humanity here rather than just, I know you're getting an awful lot of freaking clicks, and I know it's an awful lot of money. And I don't know what's in your heart and in your brain. And I don't know where those two things.
The form of manipulation, basically trying to paint the narrative that Candace is just doing this for the money. And that's the only reason she is. And I made a mistake in one of my past videos. It was the video I made about Erika Kirk when she mentions Candace Owens is making hundreds and thousands of dollars. I thought what she said is hundreds of thousands of dollars. And I was like, if Candace is making that much money, well, we might have to take a step back and just consider like, hey, is this, that's a lot of money to be earning from somebody's death on each episode. But then I rewatched it. I re-listened to it. She says hundreds and thousands, and not hundreds of thousands. It's way different. It means so much different, just that specific change in language from and to of. So if she's just making a couple $100, or a couple thousands of dollars per episode, that is not far-fetched. Even regular YouTubers make that amount of money who don't talk about tragedies. So it's like, what is Erika's point right there? That is not that much money. I mean, it is good money now. Like somebody working a regular 9 to 5, they would be happy to be making hundreds or thousands of dollars per day. But for a big YouTube influencer who gets millions of views, that is not like beyond normal. That's what I'm trying to say.
Things meet. But you might want to listen to yourself 3 months ago as opposed to what you are doing right now. And again, that's separate than whether maybe to some extent it is a bit too much to bite, to chew off, to be a grieving widow and be running this organization amidst all of the political and cultural craziness we have. But that's a separate issue.
Okay, we're going to pause that right there. I get my main point across about the whole him calling out Candace Owens for going back on her word. It seems like she wasn't giving all the specifics about what would need to be met for the requirements to make her stop if Erika requested her to stop. And I'm thinking that the requirements would be she's in major error with something. She just got a fact majorly wrong, and that's probably the requirement that Candace has. Because from when she said that, I'm like, why would she say that? I was thinking she was meaning if Erika just requests her to stop talking about it, she would listen and obey. But knowing Candace Owens a little bit, just from what I've seen about her, that wouldn't stop her. So she wants to really get down to the nitty-gritty of it all, and she's going to let nothing get in her way with that. The only way she'll take a step back is if she's made a flaw in something, some fake evidence she's brought forth, or she made a mistake or an error, she will retract that. And she's admitted that she would do that. And so let me know what you guys think. Do you think that she actually did go back on her word? Or do you think that she was meaning something that was not properly given the specifics of? And so she's not going back on her word because the specific requirements had not been met yet for her to, stop talking about the Charlie Kirk situation. And I'm leaning towards the latter. It's not enough. She didn't mean it's enough for Erika just to say stop and she'll stop. She would have to be given a good reason by Erika. And then if she's given that good reason and she sees where she's in the wrong, then she would stop. So let me know what you think in the comments below. Thank you for watching. Take care. America first, Israel last.